Welcome back to another episode of the Black Cinema Experience podcast.
Podcast.
I'm your girl JB,
And I'm Cameron.
and this week we are back with our season finale. Do 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 do.
Woo-hoo!
That's right, guys. So we're doing our season finale episode. This is it, and we decided to talk about none other than the amazing, world-renowned, performative,
Extraordinary.
artist that is Beyonce. We're going to talk about Renaissance this episode, guys. So we're going to tell you, is it worth seeing in the movies? We're going to try to get this out to you ASAP. Is it worth seeing in the movie? Should you have just gone to the concert? Or maybe you can wait for it to come to streaming, right? That's always an option.
It's always an option, but you need to go see this. You need
to in theaters. You need the surround sound. Yes. You need the full effect.
It's an experience. It is.
So with that being said, it is our last episode this season, but not our last episode altogether. Absolutely. We will be back with season 2 in the beginning of 2024. We already have a lot of episodes just waiting and lined up for your viewing pleasure. So I cannot wait to be back with you guys next year. And thank you for an awesome year of rocking with us. Exactly. Now, Cameron, let's get into it.
Let's get straight to the nitty-gritty. Renaissance. It's been on my top. It's been on my Spotify, Time Warp, whatever. 2 years, number one in a row. So,
okay.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it live, but I will say that this is the next best thing as far as like not being in the actual audience.
Yeah.
Like this film did a really good job of incorporating you from the theater into the experience, honestly.
Yeah, it was a like behind the scenes type of movie. Do you remember that show that was on like MTV when we were kids? I think it was MTV, but it was like a behind the scenes type thing into music videos.
What was it? Diary? Like, you think you know me, but you have no idea.
Okay, not like that.
Oh, not that one.
Like the ones where they would literally make the music videos.
Yes,
I used to freaking love that show, and this movie was essentially a long version of that. Beyonce was like, "Here's all it takes to create this type of show. Look at all the people. Look at all the man hours. Look at all the preparation that we're actually putting into this." So she doesn't just do what other people have done, and I'm not going to say anything bad about Taylor Swift.
Absolutely not.
Because I am a Swiftie as well. I am. I love them. Mm-hmm. I love her. Mm-hmm. But her entire movie was a 3-hour and some change experience of her just performing back to back numbers. And I mean, even like it was great, but I definitely fell asleep. I love Taylor Swift though. I fell asleep on songs I didn't know. And it was just really, really long. There was nothing like informative about it. There was nothing that, made me want to keep coming back, and I don't want to watch it again. Mm-hmm. It was a really hard 3 hours to sit through. I'm not lying. Mm-hmm. Whereas Beyonce, and I'm not comparing the two because no woman deserves that. No woman.
I'm glad you said that.
Okay. But Beyonce created a story from the beginning to the end. She was telling us about her life, her family. We got to see how she interacts with Blue and the rest of them, how she interacts with her crew, how they interact with her, how diversity inclusion is not even forced, but present. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Beyonce.
No,
I didn't feel like anyone told you, like, you need to hire a fat girl. Yeah. I feel like she just happened to like a dancer who was passionate, and she just so happened to be representative of a different body type than what we usually see.
Exactly.
I think that Beyonce she really... Thank you, Beyonce, for the behind-the-scenes look.
Chef's kiss. No, it's funny you said that because, like, literally, I've seen all of the Beyonce behind the scenes. Like, we've seen, Life is But a Dream when she first premiered on HBO. We also seen Homecoming, and then now Renaissance. And I think it's always a good look into Beyonce's life because, she does it very well.
Yeah.
Like, the cinematography, the editing is done awesomely. And then also is that we don't get to really see a lot of Beyonce just in general. Mm-hmm. So just being able to get, like, a little glimpse into her life and the moment she lets us in, it is nice to see,
Yeah.
And again, it could be a little biased because it is her presentation of what we see.
Yeah.
But whose isn't? Like you're always going to get the good parts, and she has talked about some hurts and some some of her disappointments in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's just done. Like the storytelling is so well done.
Yeah,
so you're engaged.
she does a wonderful job telling the story, but she also talked on some topics that never get brought up or just don't get talked about in depth enough. Like how the world treats women, serious women, business women, when they have to get things done, they have to repeat themselves, how they have to be mean, or it's like the world literally provokes you to the point of, okay, so you're telling me this thing doesn't exist, and I just told you I googled it and I found it.
It's a 30-foot, like it was a 30-foot camera or something. Yeah. She was like asking for it, and they were like, "We don't have that." Yeah. And she was like, or they said it didn't exist. Yeah. Yeah. And then she said, I just googled it and it exists. We'll go see about it now.
Okay, why couldn't you do it before? There's that fact that the fact of the matter of people not listening to Black women, and it was definitely present. She let us know, hey, even I, Beyonce, am not being taken seriously. Look, this is a world problem. Like, we're not listening to Black women, or maybe just women in general. But either way, I like that she touched on that topic, because it was like, it's important to know that even you at your level still have to repeat yourself, which is crazy. But it's good. It feels more like I feel more connected to like her having a human experience like me. Absolutely. Because it's very easy to feel like you're Beyonce. You could be completely set apart. You could live on an island and never deal with anything. But even within your own set, your own production team, you have people who are essentially undermining you
and questioning your integrity or your authority,
your ability to get shit done. Yeah,
and it's wild. And it's funny. Like, I do like seeing that in the movie format because, again, like you said, it could just be a 3-hour concert, and I would have lived my life with just a concert. But with her,
with Beyonce,
exactly, like, and you can do that. But like when you tell the story, it just makes it that much more like you feel that much more engaged to the songs. You're like, okay, now I see why she wrote that song. Oh, I like now I can understand why this goes there, and like how she planned out the show, and it's just
even the connections, the connections of like having more. So by going behind the scenes, Beyonce gives us a more emotional attachment to what's happening in the show, right? Like, we are actually seeing how many people this job is affecting when she's coming to town there and they're building her set. We're seeing like Blue be her daughter and have those moments of, Mom, do the song I like for the show. Like, come on, Mom. And then her being like, now settle down, Blue.
You brought that up kind of early, but I'm glad you brought it up because I did want to talk about Black motherhood. And then also, because we talked about the relationship that a Black daughter can have with her Black mother, and how sometimes, a lot of times, it can be toxic sometimes.
Yeah.
But seeing like the beauty of her relationship with her daughter and just her children in general, like her children love her. It just made me so happy, like to see like her kids
love her.
Well, because like a lot of times you see like with these entertainers, they don't have the opportunity to be able to be with their families, and that's like every like child stars or child of rock stars plight. Like, I never got to see my mom, I never got to see my dad, and then with Beyonce, they right there. When she off stage, them kids in the dressing room with her, like,
I can't believe you just brought that up because you're making me realize like the other thing that I said about that, which is they're not getting a normal
childhood experience.
They're not getting that. They don't have anybody around their age like that they can do these things with. So they may be good girls, good performers, good kids. Even the boy, I mean, all of them may be good kids, but are you guys getting enough exposure? Like, are you having any normalcy in your life? This is Beyonce. She's performing forever for the rest of her life. She is this is what she does. Do her kids have that type of normalcy? Because it is good that she's always there, but on the other side of that, they're not getting the normal, stable experience of I go to school, I come home.
Well, to me, again, I understand that too, but at her level, you're not gonna be a normal child, and then also, like, who's to say those things aren't normal? I do believe I do believe kids interacting with other kids and you interact with people is normal, but I'm saying like the whole I'm having to go to school into a private school when they're going to be the only Black kids and it's going to be bullying and they have to deal with all this other stuff, even though their mom will be Beyonce. I just feel like, is that the life you want to live?
Bullying builds character, though. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying we should all go bully somebody. I'm just saying that, for me, it just, you need it. You need a little bit of, you got to have some skin on you. Or else you'll be offended by everything, like all those people.
Well, I mean, I think there are other ways to build character. And I do think that I understand, like, you do get, like, you learn to have, like, such tenacity and resilience in these situations when you face oppression. But then again, I just feel like, it doesn't, like, they will never be normal. So, I think she's doing the best she can. And I feel like this is going to be a better relationship she's going to have with her kids than a lot of other celebrities will have with their kids because they never got to see their mom.
Definitely.
And she said, I think it's her son brings her a sandwich every day before
Yeah.
The concert. She has to eat it. Yeah, she has to eat it. You know, I think that's stuff like that is like precious moments that I feel like they'll never forget. And again, like that, some celebrities' kids don't have with their parents at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I do think that was a beautiful aspect.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah, but like speaking on her kids though, like the whole Blue thing. How did you feel about seeing so much of behind the scenes of Blue and her like journey?
To perform in?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was gonna bring it up next because you were talking about adversity and how it builds character, and this actually helped build her character because I remember we love Blue Ivy, but a lot of people were complaining like, you know, and you can see like she's not. It's different when you see Beyonce's child video. Beyonce wanted to be a star, so like when I look at Beyonce and you see her from a child, that was her goal.
Yeah,
and in that sense, Blue Ivy doesn't have the same goal, you know. So
that's how I feel too. I feel
know?
Like she's enjoying the view, but I think that she doesn't have the same fire.
Fight. Yeah.
You know, she's just like, I think what it is more than anything is just like, okay, that seems cool. Let me do it. But I don't think that she's gonna turn into like, you know how a Willow is to Will Smith. You know, like.
But the thing is, she could. But I'm saying, but I
she could.
Yeah, but we don't know.
It's not.
My thing is
the fire's not. You could work real hard, and that's good. But I don't think that the fire is necessarily there. She's having too much fun watching people watch her.
Yeah,
she's not.
But the thing that I did like because they showed her journey because at the beginning she was like nervous and then like she was really unsure. But her getting negative critiques. Okay, what we're gonna stop doing? We're gonna stop bullying these little black kids. Okay, now we can again we can joke and we can clown, but the stuff that was negative about Blue Ivy. Unacceptable. We gotta do better, especially to our little black girls. They're not gonna do this to these black kids, okay? So, but I do understand.
That was
agree.
crazy.
I do agree. Like, obviously, it wasn't the best performance, but she's literally like 12.
I know.
I feel like we put so much pressure on black kids to be these amazing, like all-star, because we're so used to all of our black celebrities having to be the most excellent, most the best singers, the best athletes, the best neural brain surgeons in everything we do. So like. We're just used to seeing like this hard, like this kid had to be so hard on this child, whatever. But I did like to see that she took it and her mom helped her and she took it to make herself and push herself to be better. Yeah. I did appreciate that and that they showed that because it did get progressively better. Like definitely, we saw the trends like when Blue first started to where she is now, and I feel like that was such a good way that her mom spun it.
I just hope that she has the ability to say no when she's ready.
Yes.
Yeah, I just hope that like when she's like, all right, that was fun, that she can say no without her mom being like, we done put in 20 years, Blue. You're gonna have to get on stage.
But I feel like I didn't get that from Beyonce because Beyonce didn't want to perform in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she knows the pressure of being a black woman in the spotlight.
And I mean, honestly, when you say that, you're just reminding me of nobody in the world works harder than Beyonce.
No, like literally.
Seriously, she is the hardest working woman ever. The level that she goes through to get her show right, to get herself right. I mean, in some of these productions we've seen with her doing the behind the scenes, which makes me even realize like the whole Taylor Swift thing, like who cares? Because Beyonce did the whole behind the scenes things for Homecoming. So this is not a new thing for Beyonce. So for people to correlate the two and be like, Beyonce hopped on Taylor Swift thing and she's doing this. I was like, chill out. She's been doing this. Beyonce has been giving us BTS since the beginning. She wants us to know that she works really hard, girl, and we get it, girl.
Well, from the Beyonce experience, when she was Dangerous Love, like she always had you had to buy the DVD.
Working
we go
hard.
that far back.
Working really hard.
I mean, but even like
her diets.
Yeah.
Beyonce be working hard. Nobody in the world is working as hard as Beyonce right now.
It's funny when you said diet because first of all in the movie it talks about the scene when she was like, I gotta get out of Texas because she was eating the food.
Oh my gosh, at that place. Oh my gosh. And I gotta watch it again just like the place's name. She been to that fish. I was like, whoo.
She's like, I gotta get out of Texas. But even if you go back and watch the making of the video Survivor, she was talking about how it was so hard for her because she couldn't eat Popeyes. Like because she was on a diet. And again, we don't mean to say that to cause any unhealthy behaviors in you and our audience or whatever. Because I'll be conscious of people. I know it can be unhealthy, but it was just to show that she's a real person. She struggles with these pressures of society, like having to be a certain way, like having to look a certain way.
Yeah,
it's just crazy to see that and see her be real about it.
Like
like this is good. Like
she know that food good. Like, come on. She was so curvy when she first, like, she looked so good. But, like, the thick life is for Beyonce. When Beyonce got thick, I started seeing a little trend. Plus size girls getting chose more. I was like, Beyonce, keep it up. Don't drop the weight. Keep going, okay? Hit the 220s. Come on. Put us all in style. Let's do it.
No, for real, though. And I do think that she, like, is always, like, because when Monique used to come out in the BET Awards doing her dance like that, she used to always...
Yeah. I did not mean to roll my eyes.
I'm talking about the appreciation she had for all women.
Yeah.
She would always put, different, like, she had a pregnant woman when her saxophone player, I believe, was pregnant, and you had her stomach out, and like embracing that. Like usually people get fired from tours like that.
Yeah.
And so many artists talk about how they
Beyonce
had to put
helped somebody. One of her dancers' boyfriend was trying to propose.
Yeah,
she
actually,
helped them.
her old dance captain.
I'm like,
helped them propose.
I'm living for this. Beyonce, give people the life they want.
Exactly.
She's a good boss. But also, don't make her repeat herself.
It's funny. Her mom talks about that. She says, like, like when Beyonce would get snippy with her, even her own mother. But Messina's tough too, though. She
Capricorn
said, she said after the show she would always apologize to her mom, like, I'm sorry. And her mom was like, I understand. It's a it's like a very high stress job to be doing a quick change in 30 seconds with a whole new outfit. And Beyonce's like a perfectionist, so
it's a well-oiled machine. It's got to be on time. But even with watching her perform, like in other situations, when shit happens and when things malfunction, she pops back so quick. I mean, like when I watched her, one time I was watching her perform and her microphone fell down, and the way that she kept dancing and pulled it back up and then tightened it up, and she did her little eye thing to let you know she saw that something wasn't right.
Somebody getting fired. I'm joking.
I wonder what it means, because she always does that little eye thing where she's like, fixed it. I'm so great at this. I'm Beyonce. And she keeps going. Well, with this movie in Renaissance, she shows us, okay, in one of the states, we have a total malfunction. That's Arizona. And when it happens there, she's like, okay, they go down and then they're talking for like 10 seconds. And she's like, oh yeah, I guess it would be cool to change outfits and then just come back up.
Yeah.
And then she changes outfits and then keeps on going. Like, what power outage?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
And the whole crew, and the thing is, like, they're all so in sync, which I really like.
Yeah.
The whole crew's like, let's do it right now.
Yeah, and that's just like a captain that you respect, though. Like, you cannot have that type of organization and flow to be able to switch to the next thing and not even miss a beat. Without having so much respect for your leader, knowing that your leader is going to take you down the right direction.
Period.
In that moment, I mean, Beyonce probably felt like she gets questioned a lot, but in that moment when she was like, yeah, let's do that. No questions asked. Yeah. All right, done. Get you up there, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, they respect her. She's really a performer. She really does this.
She's the performer of this generation.
I know Beyonce.
Okay, we have to talk about it, but what was your favorite part of the Renaissance film? Like, what do you feel like really caught your eye? Like, what really like captured? Because for me, there's so many. So I'm gonna let you go first.
It's 1,000 things. So before you say them, I'm gonna say all of them first, and then you're gonna be like, I was gonna say that too. So let me just do it real quick. I'll run fast.
Okay.
The outfits, boom. The editing,
come on,
boom. And then, Beyonce, boom. That's it. But like specifically for me, I'm gonna give the editing extra kudos. In the song Cozy, right? On the movie, she's in the scene and she has her little robo outfit on, and she's like in between the frames, and she keeps like popping up, and like every time she pops up, it's a different robo outfit, and like I'm living for costumes, I'm living for wardrobe, whoever's doing that and hair and all that. She looked flawless every time, and every single time that she performed, she changed outfits multiple times. Like we saw her in different outfits, so they were using different clips. So this is how robotic this woman is, where they can take the clips and then just edit them in seamlessly for a seamless, perfect edit every time. She's a robot. She's amazing. I don't know if she's real. But the editing for me was my favorite part, because I was so easily impressed and like amazed by her different outfits. And this is so much better than a concert. Like, because I got to see her in all the states when she wore all the outfits. Like, this was the best.
It was so like
my favorite.
That part, but for me it was when the opening. It just set the whole movie for me because in the opening she talked about how she's being thankful, and I in the movie I was over here, I really was getting emotional. I started to tear up because I love to see gratitude, and I think people don't understand like that's how you get far in life is being a grateful person.
I agree.
And just to see her, and again, I'm not saying she's a perfect person. I'm not trying to, like idolize her, but I did think it was so grateful to see her, even people she's had falling outs with, her father, the older members of Destiny Child, Latavia and Latoya, like to see her, like, thanking them and like thanking all these people because they all are a part of her story, and it just shows the growth as a person, but also as a woman, like as a mother, like that all of this drama that we had when they were like teenagers, right? You forget, but like
I don't remember the drama at all, but I do remember there being a girl group, and then they're not,
and they're 16 and 17. But I'm saying they're 16, 17-year-old, so it's like but to see her be a grown woman, and like just acknowledging all these different areas, and then she sees flaws in all. And she sings Falls and All after, doing all these.
How does Falls and All go?
I'm a train wreck in the morning.
Oh, okay. You don't gotta sing it all shy.
No, but no, I'm saying it's that song.
Every now and then when I want it, I could be really mean.
I don't know why you love me. That part, yeah. But it like I feel like it was just so emotional, and obviously that like the editing helped that because you see it through all the different shows. And then they're flashing pictures of like her when she's like 15 with Girls Time, and you see like Latavia and Latoya.
Yeah.
You see her and her mom Tina Lawson and Uncle Johnny, which is a big part of the inspiration for Renaissance.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. And just seeing her, and then obviously her tribute to Uncle Johnny, but just seeing like so many different people that don't get a lot of recognition, like Kevin Jay-Z Prodigy, who's really big in the ballroom scene, which is obviously for the LGBTQ community. And you see him get his followers because he's been doing so much work, and it's like to see her like just really like I feel like uplift a lot of people who haven't been uplifted in the past. Yeah, it was inspiring,
Yeah, it kind of feels like the Black woman's charge, huh? To have to uplift outcasts, but it's our charge because in so many spaces we're not welcome. So we know how it feels to not be welcome, which is why we make this special effort of acknowledging others in the room. That's why we see you if your crown is tilted, and we try to lift it up and lift you up because we know how it feels to have no one looking out for us. Black women, I mean. This was going to be a show that I was going to love regardless, but like it's just the attention to detail that we have to pay because we haven't had privileges that other races have. You know what I'm saying? And again, not to compare it to Taylor Swift. There's wine in that cup. And it is doing its thing. Not to compare her to Taylor Swift, but what I will say is that the attention to detail, the thoroughness, all of that Beyonce encompassed, it was missing off of the Taylor Swift movie. And it wasn't that Taylor Swift's show wasn't good, but it was just very commercial. And Beyonce created something that was just so visually meaningful. And it just took us to so many different layers of like bad bitchness,
Well, I think it's the status of art. And again, Taylor Swift is an amazing singer-songwriter, and she has a specific audience. But Beyonce also has
I'm her specific
exactly. Yeah, because Karma is my boyfriend is my favorite song, which is it's hilarious.
When you're 16.
Exactly. First of all, when I turned 22, I kept telling everybody it was my Taylor Swift year. So I completely understand. And again, and she does a lot of boss stuff too. You help the truckers and all that stuff. So we're not taking away from her. But I'm saying from Beyonce's perspective though, they have to be on the social justice side. Because let's be honest, it is like a political album. Yeah. It's going to have to be a different show. Like, it has to have a different message. And she can't just be...
You're talking about the things that we talk about, Cameron. Exactly. And the things that we talk about are the fact that Black people, we can't just make a movie about nothing. Because we got too many things of importance going on. We got to talk about something important. We're not just out here wasting our breath. Now, I am starting to see more movies come up that have like less intention behind it and more just like, here's a love story, like Really Love with Sophie. I'll be like, when I watch it, I'm like, this is pointless. There's nothing happening in this movie. But like with certain things, it's like we don't have the opportunity to just be like, I'll pass. Beyonce and her platform, she can't just be like, I'm not going to do anything important with it. She could have just put on a good show like Taylor Swift. She has to give you a message. She has to show you, this is how the world undermines Black women. This is how you raise a little Black girl. This is how you perform it. This is how you do it in excellence. This is how you uplift people who are not part of your community. Exactly. Like Black women have so much work that we take on and we do for others.
It's like you work through a marriage.
Oh.
But I don't want to.
Jay-Z.
We don't want to get too deep in that. But I'm saying, like, this is how you work through so much. Like, this is how you work through, falling out with bandmates and family members.
Right.
Like, and it all comes through forgiveness, at the end of the day. But it's just so, it's crazy to see her put the activism and the entertainment and put it come out just feeling just refreshed, low key.
Ain't nobody comparing. Nobody.
Nobody else. I haven't seen it since, like, I can't think of any artists recently.
Period. That's what I had to say about Renaissance. I mean, I feel like we took that ball and run.
Well, I just really feel like, to see her dibble and dabble from not just music and just be like this music icon, but to see her in film and to, like, get her just due. I know a lot of people don't like Beyonce's acting. That's a whole nother debate. But when it comes to performance, like, again, I want to talk about another part of the show. I'm sorry, but when she's coming down on I'm That Girl, and, like, they had, like, the whole little her, like, feature film at the beginning, and, like, it looks like 3D and it's not 3D. You're not wearing 3D glasses, like, but you can see, like, you feel like it's coming out of the screen. Yeah. Crazy, first of all. Yeah. But second of all, when she's coming down the stairs, like, it's like you can see her, like, get in mode. Like, it is like a rebirth, like, into her performance. Absolutely. I was like, and at that point, I knew it was about to go down.
If Beyonce could not read and write, she has done enough for the world. Okay? I'm going to say that every time, and I mean it every time. We might find out 50 years from now that Beyonce didn't know how to do something that we all could do, like boil an egg. I don't know. But we're going to find out later on that she was, like, handicapped in some realm because God gave her so much talent. You know how it is when you can't hear, so you got extra good taste buds? It's like, that's Beyonce. Yes. We're going to find out one day, like, oh, wow, she really snored loud at night. Like, we had no idea. Beyonce, you was a beast in that bed.
Beyonce over here howling at night,
What if we found out she just never had sex? Just never, ever, ever had sex. She lived her whole life, and Jay-Z was just, like, never getting any, but he was just happy she was a good performer, and, like, that was the story behind it.
That'd be all she had to do.
That she did enough. She did enough for the world. She had her talent. She blessed us. That's it. Any other things that you remember from this movie that you want to discuss? Because for me, I'm satisfied. I mean, I saw Baby Blue do her thing. I was happy she did her thing. I want her personally to become a performer that doesn't look at the audience while she's performing. That's the only thing. I think when she gets over that, she's gonna be straight because she had the dance moves down, like she wasn't off. But also, you're Beyonce's daughter. Yeah. Freestyle. The world is yours. You're Beyonce's daughter.
Yeah, the world is your oyster. I will say I do want to bring up the tribute to Uncle Johnny because I thought I got teary-eyed again. I don't know why I was so emotional during this movie. There was nothing going on. I was really enjoying myself, but I just really feel like she was doing the right things to evoke certain emotions in me. But to see that tribute, to see her, like, have the dress that he made her, and it was just like such a eclectic dress, like the pattern, like it was like crazy out of this world, and to see, like, like her pay tribute to her queer uncle, because, like, again, a lot of people have had their queer uncle or aunt in their family, especially a lot of Black people, especially a lot of Black people in the South, and, like, you never really talked about them, but you always knew, like, the different freedom that you had from that family member, and it's like, I feel like it's not like a, everybody try to say, like, oh, it's an agenda. It's like, it's like, no, this person really touched, like, he was, like, one of the main factors of why she was able to become who she is, especially with fashion.
I don't want to say this because it sounds bad, but, like, it's genuine inclusion versus what we see in everything now.
Yeah, it was authentic.
Where it's like, right, when you see, like, the checklist type of inclusion in movies, it's like, oh, they got a gay, we got a trans person, okay, good, we got everybody. Like, it's not that. Beyonce is giving you the story of her uncle, and it just so happens to be in alignment with the trans community, the LGBTQ community. So there's, like, these different connections, and it's really rare for us to see anything about that community in a genuine light in 2023. I was about to say that
genuinely, because the thing is, like, I feel like, yes, activism and representation is important, but if it's not genuine, you're making a mockery of it, so to see it done in a genuine way, it wasn't mockery. It was like, wow, he'll really be proud of you right now.
Facts.
He would be so excited to see where you have, like, what you've done, like what you've taken from him, and I think that's the point of your art. It's to give it to other people and see people elevated and to pass it along because you can't keep it forever, you know?
And when you say that, passing along the art and like sharing it, you just made me think of my favorite scene in this movie. And it was Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know I'm a Megan Thee Stallion fan. I was like, okay.
She kept going, I love you, Beyonce.
I love you, Beyonce. I love you, Megan. Oh!
I feel like I would do the same thing if I was
me
Beyonce.
too.
You can't help but say I love you.
I would do that if I was in the room with Megan too. If I was in that room with her, Megan, and Beyonce, I would be on the floor. Megan, B, Meg, B, please. I'd be like rapping with Meg, and then I'd be singing to B, and it would be heaven for me. Do you understand? That was for me, for my own personal musical taste. That was the top tier experience. I could have never imagined those two in the same room. I know they have the song together, but just being at that concert, that would have really been one of those moments where I was like, "What?"
I just love when artists always give their props. Even like seeing like Lizzo like say like, I really snuck out of school and went to go see you in a concert, Beyonce. Like, you know, like it's just crazy. And she was like, it's just like to see them do that. It's like, it's so.
Isn't it nice? Because it makes you feel like when you go to see concerts, it's worthwhile. Because one day you'll be with them, right?
Yes,
my day will come. Beyonce, me and you will be together one day, my darling.
6 degrees separation, you know.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Okay. So we hit the important marks here. We hit my favorite, your favorite.
I feel like the stats, one of the highest grossing concerts of all time.
And she made sure she charged us for them tickets.
I mean, you got to, I guess.
She was like, a whole paycheck? Is that too much? Jay, is it too much to charge a whole check? Could you imagine that conversation? He was like, nah, B, 1,100 for the top of the line. Like Jay, that's still a nosebleeds at Beyonce's concert. Could you help her bring that price down?
You know,
for his middle class people.
You know,
and I said middle class lightly, you know, because really.
Because middle class. It's debatable what we consider middle class nowadays. That gap is widening. Between the middle class. But anyway, no, I agree. Like, you know, I mean, I know next time. I know for sure. And I'll make this vow. I will never miss a Beyonce concert ever again.
No, I won't. And I'll tell when I have a husband and I have a kid, I'm going to make sure he knows what's going on. I'm going to that concert. I'm never going to miss you again, Beyonce. But also, if she never performed again, she's still done enough.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, she's done.
She was so. I feel like she was so comfortable during this one too. You could see like she was like.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
I'm not even sure if she knows how to not perform. So like, I'm not gonna sit here and worry that was her last concert. Because a performer gonna do what a performer do, and that's put on a show.
Absolutely.
She's probably been working on the next show for 2 years already. We're about to find out in 2026 that Beyonce has already had something up her sleeve since this year.
I'm gonna be ready because every time they do them midnight drops, Beyonce, I want to let you know I am one of the first people to be listening. Okay. When you drop them tracks every time.
I've been waiting for the Instagram photos and turn the alarm on. What is in style right now?
Exactly.
But okay, that's it. That's all I got. You got anything else to add to this movie?
I mean, go see it. Music, fashion, story.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, y'all.
Yeah, it is Beyonce.
You get to see her
kids. It's Beyonce. It's Beyonce. I mean, the runs, the music. The vocal ability, the physical ability.
I will say, what was one of your favorite songs from this album? From this album specifically.
Don't ask me about the album, Cameron. I don't know this album. Damn.
Yes, you did. She was over here singing everything just like me. She don't know the names, but she knows the songs.
What song was that? What song do I know?
You love Cozy.
Okay, sure.
But
Cozy.
For me, I would say
Cozy.
Pure Honey, the reference to Miss Honey. Beyonce she really did it. She really did it. I'm telling y'all, like,
and that's where you lost me. That's where you lost me. You see?
Fire. Go see this movie. It's literally only, it's $20. $22.
It's $22 out here
in
LA. But also special note that this movie is worth seeing in a theater because it's still a concert essentially. So you're seeing the full screen version of everything. You're hearing the surround sound of the music, and you're getting the colors of her dresses and her wardrobe more vibrant than anywhere else you can get them. I mean, it is worth seeing in a theater if you're a Beyonce fan. And she spans not just the new album that he's obsessed with, obviously. It spans the very beginning. She opens up the show with Dangerously in Love in a full-blown black dress. Beyonce.
Gowns. Beautiful
I
gowns.
love you.
She's really singing. Again, she always incorporates all her music, but obviously it's a renaissance. And I feel like it was a rebirth for her. As far as,
and a rebirth means new life.
Yes.
So we're gonna see her
exactly
nonstop.
Absolutely. And I will say though, I'm also waiting for it. I already started saving. So just in case this Destiny Child concert come out, because I'm gonna be right there.
I know. If there was a Destiny Child concert, that would be crazy.
But they have all 5. Like,
can you pay my bills? That'd be crazy.
I'm living for it.
I'm a survivor. That'd be a crazy concert.
I'm
a soldier. Stand up for me.
Only carry big things, if you know what I mean.
I'm here for it. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for a wonderful year of our first ever show. We enjoyed doing this with you, and I cannot wait until we embark upon season 2 with you, and to continue growing our audience and continue telling others what we think about things that we really, really like. So, again, thank you for watching the Black Cinema Experience podcast.
Go support Black art.
Yeah. Now.